Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to Gnostic Studies. And hold on, I'm working on technical glitch here. Oh, there it is. There it goes. Okay, sorry about that. Thanks for tuning in. You're listening to Gnostic Studies, and we want to welcome you to our meditation. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments area. Today, we're going to be working with the vowel A, pronounced ah. And the purpose of this vowel is to work with the chakra of the Thymus Gland, related with also the lungs, and with occult memory. Helps us to remember not just our experiences in this current life, but also in past lives, as well as our dreams or astral experiences that we may have. So we'll do that a little bit later on. First, we're going to go through our preparatory steps that we like to go through. First, we want to prepare our environment. And we recommend these steps because they can help us to have a better experience when we're meditating. So the first step is to prepare our environment. Basically just get into a good place where you can not worry about what's going on around you. Meaning, do you need to close the door? Do you need to turn off your phone or put it in a different mode? Do you need to loosen your belt, take off your socks? Do you want to grab a glass of water or some other beverage so that if your throat gets dry, you can drink something? Whatever you need to do to prepare your location. Tell your other fellow beings around you that you need about an hour and 15 to just be still, and so hold all my calls or whatever you need to tell them. That's the first step. Or if you need to clean off or grab your meditation cushion or chair or whatever. Next, we work with the scent. The advantage of using scents is that it can provide a stimulus for our human machine to remember what we're doing, like to set up a trigger, so to speak, so that each time that we burn this incense, or we smell that smell, because it could be diffused in a diffuser, however, as we mentioned before, you can put it in a water bottle or a spray bottle with some water, put essential oils in there and spray them in the air, however you want to do it. But we can set up a trigger so that every time we smell this scent, we combine that with the meditation, so that it sort of triggers us to enter into that more relaxed state. Now, at the same time, we recommend certain scents, which are juniper berry or juniper, Palo Santo, camphor, copal, benzoin, specifically because those scents have the esoteric properties of cleaning, which they can clean both us and our environment. So we have some Palo Santo here. We're going to light that up. If you don't have some today, then keep that in mind. Next time you're at the store, you can grab some of those. Those are really good scents for cleaning. Some people also like sage and rue. So in the case of Palo Santo, you got to kind of get it going. It takes a little bit longer than maybe some other things. And then once it's smoking real good, then you wave it around yourself, around your arms, around the back of your head, above your head, behind your back, sides of your body, your torso, your arms and your legs. And then you can also do it around the room if you'd like. And the point of this, again, is twofold. One, to clean ourselves in the environment, and two, to set up a trigger for ourselves so that every time that we meditate, we include this scent or one of these scents. And it really ends up being beneficial, because when we say to clean, what we're talking about is removing the residue of the day, whether it be our own thoughts and feelings or those of people that we encountered around us throughout the day. Next step is to find a good, comfortable position. Excuse me, that incense dried out my throat. So the point of choosing a comfortable position is so that we can relax. I may need to get some more water here. Pardon me, I'm gonna be right back. Sorry about that. Okay. So, the reason that we want to relax is because we don't want to be distracted by the physical body. We want the physical body to be totally relaxed, not giving us feedback like my leg hurts, my back hurts, my ankle hurts, my neck is too tight, my, anything like that. What we want is to get into a sleepy state, a drowsy state, or we can be physically asleep, but our consciousness is still aware of what's going on. That's the sweet spot that we want to get into. The mantras will help with that, the pranayama will help with that, and the part that we need to consider in this phase of the preparation is that we don't pick a position that's too comfortable or too uncomfortable. We want to find that perfect spot where we're comfortable enough to relax, but not so comfortable that we just completely fall asleep and forget that we're doing the meditation exercise. So whatever that may be. Some people like a recliner chair, some people like sitting on a meditation cushion, some people like with their back against the wall, or they lay on the floor that's a little hard with their knees bent. So it's comfortable, but it's not super comfortable. It's not like the position people normally sleep in. So anything like that. And the final step of our preparation is the singles transmutation practice. We have 2 of them, and we would like to share both of them with you. First one is pranayama, the second one is hamsa. Both of them are what we call singles transmutation exercises or practices, and they have the function of transmuting our creative energy, our sexual energy. That is, of bringing that energy from the creative organs up the spine into the brain. And then from there we descend that energy down into the heart. By sending the energy inward and upwards, we can be more creative in our brain and in our heart. And it also allows us to not be a victim of that energy, which is often manifested as what we call monkey mind. So it's really helpful during meditation to do a transmutation practice before we start. The hamsa exercise is the least complicated. You mentally pronounce hum while you inhale through the nose, then hold the breath, then exhale. And when you inhale, you imagine or visualize the creative energy going from the creative organs up the spine into the brain. When you hold the breath, you hold the energy in the brain. And then when you exhale, you send the energy to the heart. So it's like a upside down J, or like a cane, or a I think it's called a crook. It's a implement that you see Christian religious people wearing, or using. It's sort of like a oversized cane. Who else do we see with it? Sometimes the shepherds have it for like grabbing the neck of the sheep. But anyway, that same shape. I guess Egyptians also have that in their as one of their implements. But it's a sort of elongated cane. But that's the same shape, right? Comes up the spine, all the way to the back of the head, and then down from the brain down into the heart. So inhale, visualizing that energy going up. Hold the breath. And then when we inhale, we pronounce the mantra hum. When we exhale, we pronounce sa with an emphasis on the S. And when you're ready to say the ah part, you just drop the jaw. So it's s. And so we would just repeat that over and over again. Pranayama is a little bit more complex because we're doing alternate nostril breathing. We're blocking our nostrils, and then we also, there are mantras like that at the same time. Mantra tone. Then when you hold it sometimes this is too complicated, right? So don't worry about it if, or we'll do it like this. It's technically it's sa, ra and sa like that. I'm going to blow my nose before I do this pranayama. Okay, so we block the nostril, one of the nostrils, when we do this pranayama. Hopefully you guys are familiar with it, because I'm not sure that an audio explanation is the best, but we're going to work with what we got. So if we start with the right nostril, inhaling through the right nostril, then we block the left nostril. So if you're going to use your right hand, then you can use the index and the thumb. Other people use different fingers. Some people do mudras or special hand postures. Totally up to you. We recommend the thumb and index finger, pointer finger. So if I use it my right hand, I'm going to block my left nostril with my pointer finger. Inhale through the right. Hold the breath. Block both nostrils. Unblock the left nostril. Still blocking the right. Exhale. Then inhale through the left nostril. Block both nostrils, hold the breath. Unblock the right, still blocking the left, and exhale. And the mantras are all mental. So obviously, if this is your first time doing this, I would recommend just trying to get the pieces without the mantra down, because it's a little bit more complex with them. Let me see if I can space this out. Make it look better. Ton raham, ton saham. So let's do transmutation exercise of our choice for the next 10 minutes. If you don't know which one to do, then try the pranayama, get yourself familiar with it. I'll keep track of the time. I'll let you know when 10 minutes has gone by. And as always, before we begin, we can pray, asking our inner divinity to assist us, to protect us, and to help us do this practice in the best way possible. let's finish up whichever pranayama we're on. There's a question, how long do you hold the breath? The duration of the holding the breath, and as long as it's comfortable. You don't need to like overdo it. Make yourself pass out. Just hold it, and eventually it ends up elongating and you can hold it longer. Some people say to try and get to a count of 12, but you know, get comfortable with it first. Okay, so we've done our preparation. Now we'll move into the second phase or part, which is vocalization. This has two functions as well. The first is to give the mind something to concentrate on. So just breathe in. The way we vocalize is we breathe in through the nose and we breathe out through the mouth. So if we're going to make the sound ah, then we breathe in. Ah. For as long as our breath is. Then we inhale again. Just we keep repeating whatever our breath is. So if we were all in the same physical room together, it would be that we're not doing it at the same time, that we're each sort of at our own pace with our own breath. And that's, it's sort of interesting at first, because in a weird way sometimes people feel like they're competing, but then what happens is that we're all supporting each other. When one is inhaling, the other is exhaling, you know, and it ends up being sometimes we sync and sometimes we're opposite. It's very interesting, but it sort of teaches us about the universe and how when we're in harmony there's this mutual supporting of those who are in tune with that, who are working together. Now, so we can concentrate on the breath, and we can concentrate on the thymus gland, which is in the chest, center of the chest, a little bit higher up, you could say, than the heart. And there's a chakra there. Maybe we could say not one of the major chakras, like a minor chakra, that, as we mentioned in the beginning, is related with occult memory, remembering things. So what I notice is that if we do this practice tomorrow, it'll be easier to remember my dreams, as an example. But if you were to also work with this vowel and trying to remember something that happened in the past, that could come back too. It could become clearer for you. So it's an interesting vowel. So we're going to concentrate on this A, and while we do that, we can also concentrate on the thymus gland, center of the chest. And we're going to do this for about 20 minutes. And during that time, the mind often says, why are we doing this? How many times are we going to do this? How many times have we done this? This is stupid, we should stop. And other similar language. Don't worry about it. Don't listen to the mind. Because in Gnosis, we're not the mind. We're the consciousness, the essence. And we need to get out of the mind. So after about 20-30 minutes of doing this vowel, we can feel the mind sort of give up and And then we feel the quiet and silence of the mind. We feel the mind in a passive way, that is, in a receptive way, where it can receive information. That's what we want. It's like a lake reflecting the sky above. That's where we want the mind to be. So after we do about 20 minutes, we'll say 3 more times. We each do it 3 more times, and then I'm not going to say anything else. Then we'll just sit quietly. At that point, we'll be actually doing meditation. God willing, right? And what we should be using or taking advantage of in that moment is the quiet of the mind to pray. If there's something we want to ask for help on, if we want to pray about an ego, a desire, something we need to work on, we want to pray about understanding something. We can also concentrate on something. Let's say I want to understand a plant or a larger process, a complicated process. Just concentrate on it. Don't think about it, just concentrate on it. Imagine it, so to speak, visualize it, and then see what other information comes to you during that time. You can also pray a prayer that you already know, like the Lord's Prayer or Hail Mary, any prayer. It doesn't have to be a Christian prayer. And then you can also enjoy the quiet and the silence of the mind, and just enjoy that peace. So again, if the mind starts assaulting us, saying, why are we doing this? What are we doing? What about this? What about that? Bring it back to the concentration on the breathing, on the vocalization, the letter, the vowel, the mantra that we're pronouncing. And then if you want to add something to that, concentrate on the center of the chest, on the thymus gland. And as always, before we begin, we can pray, asking our inner divinity to assist us, to help us to do this practice in the best way possible, and to protect us while we do it. Let's do 3 more. souls to come back. We can take some deep breaths. Whenever we feel ready, we can always pray, thanking our inner divinity for the help, the protection, and the assistance that we received. Whenever we're ready, we can bring the practice to a close, coming back to the room and opening our eyes. Well, we want to thank you guys for your participation. For your attention during the practice. We appreciate it. And we know that you could be doing anything else this evening. But you've decided to do this with us, so thank you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments area. We would like to also invite you to our class next Thursday, 7:30, 7:40 Mountain Time in the Americas for Arcanum number 3 in our Tarot and Kabbalah. We have a comment. Thank you, like we said, for participating with us. So next week we do have a class on Thursday on Tarot and Kabbalah. We're studying card number 3. And next Friday we should be able to do meditation as well, pending scheduling conflicts. So we invite you to join us next Friday. It's going to be summer solstice, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. So you can take advantage of that, the wonderful energies that we can access right then at that point. So we encourage you to do that. But other than that, we want to wish you a good weekend and all the best in your esoteric work.